everybody, welcome to today's Polish Up Your Pedagogy, where we're looking at routines to encourage cooperative learning, and this is part 2 of 3. Just a reminder that we're looking at the learning part of the pedagogy SAIL. Learners progress through high quality learning opportunities to enrich knowledge, promote curiosity and develop skills for learning life and work. And this links to your GTCS standards for CLPL, which is 3.1.1, to plan effectively to meet learners' needs. So today we're going to look at 3 different routines that can encourage cooperative learning in your classroom. So here we have the inside-outside circle. And this is a really nice visual representation of what it would look like. So you need to, first of all, split your class or your group and decide which half of your students will form the inside of the circle and which half will form the outside of the circle. The outside and the inside must face each other. And then put a question or a statement on the board. Give the students at least 10 seconds to think of an answer on their own. And there are so many different ideas for learning that you could put a question in there for. It could be a plenary in your maths or numeracy lessons. It could be some French vocabulary if you were learning about the weather. It could be a spelling pattern question about which one on the board was true and which was false. It could be linked to a voice on the table task about who was your favourite sports person. You could be studying a class novel and looking at character traits in reading and trying to identify which character they thought it was based on what traits you had put on the board. It could be for a health and well-being or circle time activity where you're discussing likes and dislikes. There are so many ways you could use this routine. Once the children have had the opportunity to think about the question that you've asked or the statement, then you get them to share. So you ask the inside circle to share their responses with the classmate facing them in the outside circle. When they've done this, you ask them to say pass, at which point their partners in the outside will share their responses. And the final part of this is you get to rotate. So on your signal as the teacher, you have the outside circle move 1 step to the right and you discuss the same question with a new partner. And so on until everyone has had the opportunity to share. I'm sure you can see that there are really many ways that you could use that in your class. Here is another routine to encourage cooperation between a small group. So this is called stand and deliver. So the teacher poses a question, a scenario, a problem, and the team stands and collectively answers the question among themselves through discussion and dialogue. All members then must be able to answer the question before the team can sit down. So once the team is sitting down, you know that everybody there absolutely knows the answer to this question. The teacher then chooses one individual to provide feedback, so not giving hands up. Although children might get a bit of stage fright or they might be uncertain of what the answer was if this is a new piece of learning, so remember that whole team can use the huddle method to ensure that positive interdependence. Loads of ideas here for learning. Could be a stance that they're going to take for a topic or a debate. I've used this for learning tables in classes. I've used this also for PE, where we designed a golf hole that was going to be put out on the park around our school. And I also did it for fun, for a dance routine for a Christmas concert that we were taking part in. But I'm sure you can see lots and lots of ways that this could be used really effectively. And our final one today is corners. I really enjoyed using corners with pupils because it was so active and they had to be up out of their seats and moving around. So your corners can have lots of different kinds of titles depending on the type of learning that you're doing. One that I used most often was true, false and can't tell. And I'll go in to explain some of the questions round about that. Another way you could do it is to have strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. And maybe for younger children you could use hot, warm, cool and freezing for depending on the agreement scale there. This could be run in collaboration with a snowball fight, which is what I usually did with my pupils in my class. So I would have lots of statements or questions or answers on small pieces of paper that were rolled up, and the children would then decide where they had to go based on what I had. So for example, in the true false can't tell, I started out learning about children's rights by saying, is this a right? And I had lots of bits of paper with things that could or could not have been rights on them. The children then had to decide if what was on their piece of paper was a right or not. You could also just do this on the board as a slideshow and have things on there. I've used this an awful lot in numeracy as well. Is this 3-digit number a multiple of 6? True, false, or can't tell or don't know yet. And they could go to the different places. You could do, is this number divisible equally by 2? And children go to the place they need to go. On the agreement scale of the strongly agree or the hot, warm, cool and freezing, you could have statements or debate questions. So government should ban petrol-engined cars. Children should get paid to come to school. X character from our class novel would be my friend. And then you get to debate and discuss. If you're using the agreement scale, it's really good to take the children who are in your strongly agree corner and have them meet the people in the strongly disagree corner and discuss what it is about those two things that they think or believe. Sometimes helps perceptions to change. So, thank you for stopping along today and having a listen to part 2 of 3 of our cooperative learning series. Before you go, just have a consideration about the personalised support in your classroom through the How Good Is Our School For? Do staff consider whether their learning and teaching and assessment approaches meets the needs of diverse learners? And finally, if you would like any further support or advice from anybody in the pedagogy team, then please feel free to contact us here. Thank you.